Alright guys, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to talk about how to crop images on Photoshop. Super excited about this one because I've been having questions. How do you crop image on Photoshop? How do you do it seamlessly? How do you do it so easily in on videos that I've been posting, right? So today I will be showing you a short trick on how to crop image. There are several ways of um, cropping your image actually on Photoshop, but there's an easier way to crop your images, right? And I'm going to show you how to do that. And also, I'm going to give you a little trick on how to create something like this, the water droplet effect, something like this, right? And let's just get into it. So we have our Photoshop opened. So I'll just click on create new file, and I have already presetted my custom size, which is 2000 by 2200 pixels with a resolution of 300 and color mode of 16 bits. So I'll just hit create. Yeah, here we have it. Here we have our page open. So first off, what I'm going to do is to import the image I'm going to be using. So I'll just go to my file manager, go to downloads, and drag this image. Let's use this, drag it in. Now you can actually import images in other ways. You can just go to file, click on place embedded, then it opens up your display panel. So you just go to the location and you click on the image you want to use. So you just select and the image drops down here for you. I'm going to resize it a bit. Just click here and drag up. Aha. So there we have it. So now if you check on our layer panel, we have two layers. We have the background and the picture layer. So I'm just going to hide this by clicking on the I button. Refer to our previous video on the layer panel. So now you see that our image has a white background, and let's say I want to remove the white background. I want to use it on a different image. Let's say um I want to use it on a yellow background or something. So I just want to remove this white image. Now, there are several ways to crop, like I said earlier. You can just go to your quick selection tool, click on quick selection, and you just quick select the object. But this isn't accurate because it intends to select outside the area you want to select, but it does a pretty decent job, but it's not as fast as the one I'm going to show you. You can just select the area and it selects it for you. But if you mask it, you're going to have some white areas left, right? And that's not what we want. So we'll just undo that and deselect it by clicking on Control D. Now, what's the simplest way to do it? All you need to do is just to go to your select panel with the image selected, right? With the image selected, you go to your select, then click on subject. Now you wait for it. Now what this does, it analyzes it's an AI effect on Photoshop. It analyzes the image and selects the subject, which is the image that's in the picture, right? That's what it does. Now you have the image selected, and you see it has done a nice job of selecting accurately the image that you have. But if you check closely, it has some white parts on the finger area because it found it hard to fathom what's going on in there. So what we can actually do to repair that is we can use our polygonal lasso tool. So what we talked about the lasso tool before, we use it to select an area or deselect an area, right? So right now we're gonna hold down our alternate key and select. Now if you don't hold down your alt key, and start selecting. What you tell the system is, okay, I don't want the previous selection, I just want to start a new selection, and the thing do away with the previous selection. But what we want to do is uh, we want to deselect an area on a pre-existing selection, right? So what we'll have to do is we'll click our alternate key, and you see if you click on it, you see a minus key by the side of the polygonal lasso tool, which means you want to deselect an area in the already existing area. So we just click on it, then we start deselecting, right? We'll just go like this. So to complete the selection, you just double click and the thing deselects that area. We're gonna do the same thing here, right? And here also, because we don't want any white stuff showing when we crop, or any white area. Remember, we don't want any white area, so we just want it clean and plain. So we're gonna do the same thing here also in the fingers. Don't fret, because this is the only part you have to listen. The AI pretty much does a nice job when you're selecting, and it's easier, it's faster than using what's it called, a quick selection tool or a magic wand tool. There are also other tools you can use. You can use your lasso tool to select the whole of the image, but it wouldn't be nice, it wouldn't come out nice. So the best option is to use our select subject tool. Now we are done with selection, and if I hit my mask tool, once you are done with selection and we are okay with the selection, we hit our mask tool to add a layer mask. And when I add a layer mask, what it does is it separates the background from the image itself, right? And that's what it does. Now we have our image, and we have successfully removed the background. As easy as that, right? So this is how you remove your image. So if I say I want to change the color now, let's say I want to change the color to a yellow color, the color of the background, I'll just bring back my hide my background, then change the color, click on my paint bucket to fill it in with a yellow color. Now you see that you have your image now on a different color. Initially it was white. Initially it was white, but now it's yellow, right? So there we have it. But I'm having a little bit of an issue here. If you look closely, you see some white areas here, and we don't want that. We don't want this white stuff showing. We want it to blend well with the background. So how are we going to do that? We can actually just go to our select subject, and we see select and mask, or we can press alternate control R to select and mask. But the easiest way to do is just to come to your layer mask here, this part here, and double click, and it takes you straight to the layer mask, this mask panel. Now in this panel, you can actually just adjust the masked area, right? You can smooth it off, you can add feather to it, you can add the contrast, and you can shift the edges in or out. It depends on what you want. So what I want to do is just to shift the edges in a bit, right? So that I don't have some white flare in the background of the hair. You know that a hair is a very tricky part to work with, especially when you are cropping, because you find it very hard to crop the hair. But with this tool here, with the shift edge and our refine edge tool, now the refine edge tool, now you can actually use it to refine the edge of your hair and to make it look seamless. So if I just click on the refine edge tool and click on the part I don't want the white option, you see what it does. The refine edge refines the edges of the hair, picks out the white space and leaves the hair there. And now here we have it. So you see that you have the hair now as clean as it comes, right? You don't have white spaces around don't have white spaces around the hair. I'm going to zoom it. You see that it did a nice job of just selecting, and you can't find any white area around this play part. Right. So I'm just going to OK it, and here we go. So we have had our perfect image cropped. Now down to our little trick. I'm going to show you how to run something like a water droplet on this image. And I know that you've seen these stuffs in plenty places. I'm going to show you how that is being achieved. Now I left the picture down in the description below. You can do well and download and follow along if you will. So first off, I'm going to place embedded. I'm going to import our water droplets. So just go to Gfactor and layer 2, then place embedded. Now I have this water droplet here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to like reduce the size and try to fit it in here. And first of all, you have to do is make sure that the down part is in the same line with the image so that it doesn't cut off when you're working on it. So I just reduce it by the left, by the right, fit it down here, right? Then fit it by the left, fit it by the left. Okay, there we have it. Now, if you check your layer mask, you see that this is being introduced here. For whatever object you introduce to your workspace, the thing creates its own layer for it. So now to select this object, right, you can just click Control and click on the image. It automatically selects the water droplets, right? Or better still, you can just use your magic wand to just do abracadabra and it selects it for you. Whichever way that is easier for you, you can do it, right? I think I need to increase here a bit. Right. Okay. So I just click on my control and click, and it's selected already. Now what I'm going to do is using this mask. Now I'm going to mask out the parts that I don't want. So I'll just hide this here. I'll just hide the watermark because we will not be needing it. All we need is just the mask, which the selection which we have just done. Now if I start erasing this part out now, if I start erasing it out now, you see that it erases the image inside the mask, right? Once you select an object, what it does is it erases that part that is being selected. So, but what we want to do is we want to select outside of the water area, right? We want to select outside of the water area. So how do we go in, well, how are we going to do that? First off, we want to go to our select option. Then we see inverse. Now what it means invariably is it wants us to select the inverse of what we have already selected. Like if you cut a piece of paper, what it does is it selects outside that part that is being cut, not inside the cut part. So that's what we want. We want to cut outside of that part. So we just click on our inverse and make sure you have your mask area selected, this part here selected. So when we start cleaning now, you see that it cleans outside of the area, right? And to just clean this place off, make sure that we clean it up and we use this place to just clean out this place and the edge also. And we click Ctrl D and there you have it. We've made our water effect. Now you see that we've just, with a little bit of everything and a little bit of nothing, we've come up with something like this. Now you have this effect, right? and you can successfully say that you can make water droplet effects like this, right? So there you have it. So if you want to do something more interesting, you can just create a new layer just above the background, and we create a little bit of shadow down on the, just click, make sure that you have the black color selected, then you just, with your brush tool, you just click. There you have it. You have a little bit of shadow in the background, and here you go. So we've learned how to crop and how to do the water effect, and you see that the crop tool is very, very easy to use. You can, and I said there are a lot of ways to actually use this crop tool. So that's it for that. For all of this and more, catching the next lesson. Bye bye.